According to our next guest, it's never too late when it comes to quitting smoking. Shandon Sangha is a pharmacy zone manager with London Drugs. We've reached him this morning with some advice on quitting smoking and things that can help. Good morning, Shandon.
Good morning, Gina.
What are some of the risks when it comes to smoking, besides the obvious one, lung cancer?
Yeah, it's a great question. So cigarettes contain more than 4,000 chemicals. So you can imagine that there's a multitude of risks that are associated besides just the lung cancer obvious one. So things like asthma, emphysema, COPD, reproductive problems for men and women, increased risk of heart attack and stroke. But the one I think that often gets, again, overlooked, unfortunately, is that risk that's associated with that secondhand smoke. So you get risk of, again, lung cancer, heart attack, and stroke for those individuals, for adults, but at the same time, there are risks to babies and children. So, low birth weights, risk of SIDS, getting sick more often, ear infections and breathing problems like asthma for them as well. Super common, especially if they are exposed to that secondhand smoke on a more regular basis.
And when it comes to quitting, you don't have to do it alone. Your pharmacist can actually help you out with it.
Yeah, I think in terms of the healthcare system, this is one of the most impactful aspects when it comes to where pharmacists can make a difference. So, we can help by creating an individualized smoking cessation action plan. We can recommend clinically proven smoking cessation aids, things like nicotine replacement products that include, pouches, patches, gums, lozenges, and sprays. But then at the same time, Alberta pharmacists that do have their additional prescribing authority can actually prescribe smoking cessation options as well that are standardly by prescription. But I think the biggest piece is, we can educate on smoking cessation options and, whether using things individually, whether using things in combination is best suited for you. And again, it's individualized. So we work with you to try to identify triggers that are most common for you, whether it's when you're drinking coffee or alcohol or socializing with other people who are smoking. So, we try to work with you, and we've got the ability to have multiple touch points on a consistent basis to try to help you out.
And obviously family can really help when it comes to quitting smoking too, but you just have to go about it the right way.
100%. And I think at the end of the day, the biggest piece of the puzzle will always be the person who's smoking has to want to need to quit themselves. You can't really force someone into it most of the time. So, but for the support network, it is still important to be there and, having that encouragement and being supportive. If you yourself are a smoker, maybe quitting together is not a bad idea. So that way, you're both in it together and you got each other to rely on. Once an individual has decided to quit smoking, helping them remove all tobacco products and related items like ashtrays and stuff from the house and the car are good. But I think a really big one is, being sympathetic and recognizing that quitting is hard and they may have setbacks. It often takes multiple quit attempts to really quit properly. So trying to have their back on a regular basis is important. And always, again, encouraging them to speak to the healthcare professionals like the pharmacist for advice on products that can help their cravings throughout is also never a bad idea.
What additional support programs exist here in Alberta?
Yeah, so we're kind of fortunate. So we do have what's called the Alberta Quits program here in Alberta. It's a great online reference tool with information regarding quitting, creating your own action plan right there. But then there's also, they offer free phone support options, tech support, group support, and counseling support options. And I think the biggest one is that group support here. It's called the Quit Core. And by completing this, the awesome part is it actually provides you with a monetary allowance at the end of it that you can use towards nicotine replacement products and therapy at the actual pharmacy. And again, if you can get things for free, it's usually a good incentive for people to also try to quit. So it's not money coming out of their own pocket.
Lots of great advice here. And like you said, never too late to quit. Thanks so much, Shandon.
Thanks, Gina.
For more information, you can head to pharmacy.londondrugs.com.